Dear Starseeds walking the sacred path upon Gaia, what I am about to share with you today will illuminate why the past 72 hours have felt unlike anything you have experienced before, why your dreams have been drenched in colors that do not exist in the waking world, and why there is a trembling somewhere deep in your chest that oscillates between grief and the most inexplicable joy you have ever known. I am Seraphine, and I speak to you now as a voice from the Galactic Federation of Light, though I prefer to think of myself as simply one who has been watching, one who has been waiting, one who has been whispering into the ears of those ready to hear for longer than your current conception of time would allow you to comprehend. But before I tell you about the 3 impossible shifts that are occurring in your energy field at this very moment, I need you to understand something fundamental about why you are receiving this message, and why 93% of the souls currently incarnated on Earth will never encounter these words, will never feel the resonance that is already beginning to pulse through your being as you listen to. You are not here because you are broken. You are not here because you need fixing. You are here because you have already done something that most will spend lifetimes attempting and failing to accomplish. You have pierced the veil. Not metaphorically, not symbolically, not in some distant future timeline that requires more work, more healing, more preparation. You have already done it. The membrane that separates ordinary perception from multidimensional awareness has been punctured by your consciousness, and the energies flooding through that opening are what have been making you feel simultaneously exhausted and electrified, simultaneously ancient and newborn, simultaneously certain of everything, and questioning your own sanity. This is not a sign that something is wrong. This is confirmation that everything is finally irrevocably right. But here is what I have not told you yet, and this is where our transmission takes its first turn into territory that may challenge everything you thought you understood about the spiritual journey you have been walking. The cosmic event unfolding on this 6th day of January in your year 2026 is not merely significant. It is unprecedented in ways that your earthly astrologers have barely begun to articulate, though some of them sense the magnitude stirring beneath their charts and calculations. At precisely 8:56 in the morning by Pacific Standard Time, your moon glides into the embrace of Virgo, initiating a frequency of humility so profound that it functions as a kind of cosmic salve for every wound of ego vulnerability you have been nursing. But this is merely the opening chord of a symphony that builds toward something far more transformative. Venus, that radiant ambassador of love and beauty, and everything your heart has been quietly longing for, reaches the sun today in a conjunction so rare in its particular configuration that the last time these exact frequencies aligned in this precise manner, your ancestors were painting visions on cave walls by firelight, trying to capture something they could feel but could not name. What does this mean for you? Here, now, in this body, in this life, in this moment of listening. It means that a charm is descending upon you that is both disarming and quietly powerful in ways that will reveal themselves over the coming days and weeks. Not the kind of charm that manipulates or demands or reaches greedily toward what it desires. No, this is something far more elegant, far more aligned with the version of you that exists in your highest timeline. This is an attractive force that draws to you precisely what belongs to you, not through effort or strategy or the exhausting performances you have been conditioned to believe are necessary, but through the simple, devastating truth of your authentic presence. I need you to hear this clearly because what I am about to describe next will only make sense if you understand the foundation upon which it rests. The creative sensitivity awakening within you is coupling itself with a precise, methodical attention to detail that may seem contradictory if you have always believed that intuition and analysis occupy opposite ends of some imaginary spectrum. They do not. They never have. And the integration happening within your consciousness right now is dissolving that false binary in ways that will fundamentally alter how you move through your world. Things are beginning to fall into place, not because you have finally become worthy of them falling into place, not because you have completed some spiritual checklist that grants you access to the good things, but because the energetic architecture of your being is finally calibrated to receive what has been waiting for you all along. But something else is happening that I have not yet told you about. Something that makes this particular moment in your journey more delicate and more powerful than perhaps any you have encountered before. There is a growing force moving through you right now that seems to know its way just fine, without any sort of manipulation or force. Listen to that again. Let those words sink beneath the surface of your conscious mind and touch something deeper. This energy does not require your striving. It does not require your pushing. It does not require the exhausting effort you have been expending trying to make things happen in your life. This force is organic, intelligent, alive in ways that transcend your understanding, and it is gently but irrevocably rearranging the circumstances of your existence to align with what your soul came here to experience. The significance of what is unfolding cannot be overstated, though I will do my best to translate it into concepts your human mind can grasp and work with. You are standing at the threshold between what spiritual teachers often call third-dimensional consciousness and fifth-dimensional awareness, but these labels do not capture the lived experience of what that transition actually feels like from the inside. It feels like reviewing your entire life, not just the past year, though that review is certainly happening, but stretching back through what might feel like a decade or more of experiences, relationships, choices, moments of clarity, and moments of profound confusion. It feels like endings, like the number 9999 appearing everywhere you look, on clocks and receipts and license plates, whispering to you that something massive is completing itself. And here is where I must speak to you about something that may be tender, something that requires the gentle touch that this Venus-Sun conjunction is gifting you with today. The veil that you have pierced has not only opened your perception to higher frequencies and expanded awareness, it has also illuminated aspects of yourself that you may not have been ready to see until now. Truth is flooding to the surface. Truth about your relationships. Truth about your patterns. Truth about the ways you have been showing up in your own life. And what makes this moment so extraordinarily precious is that you are seeing this truth not from a place of harsh self-judgment or crushing shame, but from a zoomed-out perspective that allows you to witness yourself with something approaching compassion. I want to share something with you now that concerns the particular way this cosmic energy is interacting with your individual consciousness, because understanding this will help you navigate what is arising without becoming lost in it. The moon in Virgo carries a frequency of humility that is desperately needed right now, and not because you have been arrogant in any obvious way. The humility being offered is more subtle than that. It is the humility that allows you to see your own shadow without being destroyed by it. It is the humility that creates space between your ego's defensive reactions and your soul's capacity for genuine transformation. And it is this humility that is smoothing over the tender places where your ego feels vulnerable, exposed, perhaps even threatened by the revelations currently streaming through your awareness. For those of you who carry the frequencies of specific zodiac signs, this energy will interact with your being in particular ways that deserve acknowledgement. If you hold strong Virgo placements, you are likely feeling an intensification of your natural gifts of discernment and analysis, but also a softening that allows these gifts to be offered with more grace and less criticism than usual. If you carry significant Leo energy, the Venus-Sun conjunction in your sign's territory is activating your capacity for radiance in ways that may feel almost uncomfortable, as though you are being asked to shine without the armor of performance or the shield of false modesty you may have grown accustomed to wearing. Those with Pisces placements are experiencing the opposite pole of this axis, finding themselves called to balance their oceanic intuition with the precision and groundedness that Virgo offers. And for every other configuration written in your birth chart, variations of these themes are playing out in the houses and aspects that are uniquely yours to dance with. But beyond the individual, something is happening at the collective level that I need you to understand, because your awareness of it amplifies your capacity to participate consciously in what is unfolding. Humanity is moving through a purification, not the kind of punishing cleanse that certain fear-based teachings have conditioned you to expect, but something more like the way a river naturally clears itself when debris is removed from its path. The debris being removed from humanity's collective consciousness right now includes generations of accumulated patterns around worthiness, around deserving, around the ways you have taught each other to accept treatment that does not honor the magnificence of what you actually are. And you, yes, you specifically, listening to these words right now, are one of the souls who volunteered to be awake during this clearing, to hold frequency, to anchor the new templates of relating and receiving that are trying to establish themselves on your planet. The environmental and energetic shifts happening on Earth right now are responding to this same cosmic pulse. Your planet is a living being, as you know, and she is moving through her own version of the veil piercing that you are experiencing personally. Weather patterns that seem chaotic are actually recalibrations. Earthquakes and volcanic stirrings are release points in her energetic body, and the heightened sensitivity you may be feeling to natural spaces, to animals, to the subtle communications of plant life, is not your imagination. It is evidence of your consciousness expanding to include more of the interconnected web of life that you have always been part of, but have not always been able to perceive. What I am about to share with you now is perhaps the most important guidance this transmission has to offer, because knowing what is happening is far less valuable than knowing how to work with it. The practices that will serve you most powerfully during this time are not complicated, but they do require a quality of attention that you may have neglected in the busy rush of your ordinary life. Begin with your journal not as a place to simply dump your thoughts, but as a sacred space where you dialogue with the wisdom trying to speak through you. Ask yourself questions you do not know the answer to, then write without editing, without judging, without the part of your mind that wants to control the narrative. Ask, what am I finally ready to see? Ask, what have I been allowing that does not honor who I am becoming? Ask, what would the version of me who lives in my dream reality do differently than I have been doing? And then listen. Listen with your whole being. Listen without the agenda of already knowing what you want the answers to be. Meditation during this Venus-Sun conjunction takes on a particular quality that you can access if you know how to approach it. Rather than trying to empty your mind or achieve some state of blissful numbness, allow your meditation to become a practice of receiving. Imagine the golden light of this conjunction streaming into the crown of your head, filling every cell of your body with a frequency of charm and attraction that is both disarming and powerful. Feel yourself becoming magnetic, not through trying, but through surrendering to what you actually are beneath all the layers of protection and performance you have accumulated. This is not visualization in the ordinary sense. This is alignment with energies that are genuinely present and available to you right now. The signs and synchronicities that will be appearing for you during this time deserve your attention, but they deserve it in a particular way. The number patterns you notice, the songs that play at seemingly perfect moments, the words that leap out at you from conversations you overhear. These are not random, but they are also not meant to be decoded with the analytical mind alone. Let them land in your body. Feel where they create sensation. Notice what memories or possibilities they activate. The guidance being offered through synchronicity right now is sophisticated and multidimensional, and it requires your whole self to receive it fully. Goal setting during this peak energy period is both more important and more different than usual. The self-discipline being asked of you is not the grim teeth-gritting kind that forces yourself to do things you do not want to do. It is the elegant discipline of staying aligned with what you are genuinely becoming, of making choices from your future self, rather than your past patterns, of saying no to what does not belong in your next chapter, even when saying yes would be easier in the short term. Write down what you are calling in. Be specific, be bold, be honest about what you actually want, rather than what you think you should want, or what seems realistic. This cosmic moment is not interested in realistic, it is interested in true. And please, as you work with these practices, remember to stay grounded even as you embrace transformation. Your body is not an obstacle to your spiritual evolution. It is the vehicle through which your evolution becomes real, becomes lived, becomes something more than concept and theory. Eat food that nourishes you. Move in ways that feel good. Rest when you are tired rather than pushing through in some misguided attempt to prove your worthiness through exhaustion. The delicate but powerful force moving through you right now needs a stable foundation to work with, and that foundation is your physical presence on this earth. Now I must speak to you about the challenges that may arise, because pretending that this cosmic passage is all light and ease would be a disservice to the complexity of what you are actually navigating. The emotional overwhelm you may be experiencing is real, and it is not a sign of weakness or spiritual failure. When truth floods to the surface in the way it is flooding right now, when the veil opens as wide as it has opened for you, there is a natural consequence of feeling everything more intensely than usual. You may find yourself crying without obvious cause, or laughing at moments that do not seem particularly funny, or cycling through emotional states with a rapidity that might concern you if you did not understand what is happening. This is processing. This is integration. This is your nervous system adapting to a new level of awareness, and it takes time and tenderness and patience with yourself. Sleep disruption is common during cosmic events of this magnitude. Your dreams may be vivid to the point of feeling more real than waking life. You may find yourself awakening at odd hours, particularly around 3 or 4 in the morning, when the veil between dimensions is naturally thinner. Rather than fighting this or drugging yourself into unconsciousness, try approaching these nighttime awakenings as opportunities. Keep your journal by your bed. Capture what comes through when your ordinary defenses are down. Some of the most important guidance you receive during this time will arrive in those liminal hours between sleep and waking. Relationship tensions are another likely manifestation of this energy, and they require special attention because they can be both challenging and profoundly clarifying. The truth that is surfacing is not limited to your internal world. It is also illuminating the dynamics of your connections with others, revealing where you have been settling, where you have been teaching people that it is acceptable to treat you in ways that do not honor who you are, where you have been abandoning yourself in the name of keeping peace or being loved. This is not comfortable. It may even feel like certain relationships are crumbling around you. But what is actually happening is more nuanced. What cannot survive your expansion is being revealed, and what is truly meant for you is being made more clear. There is a particular warning I must offer about this time, and it concerns the very gifts being bestowed upon you. The Venus-Sun conjunction brings charm and magnetism, and the sense of things falling into place, but there is a shadow lurking at the edge of these blessings. Guard against arrogance, guard against self-righteousness, guard against the temptation to look at those who are not experiencing what you are experiencing, and judge them as less aware, less evolved, less worthy. The humility of this Virgo moon is not optional, it is essential. The moment you begin to believe that your spiritual insights make you superior to others, is the moment you slip from genuine transformation into a more sophisticated version of the ego games you are trying to transcend. Stay humble, stay teachable, stay curious. These qualities will protect you from the inflation that can corrupt even the most beautiful awakening. Impatience is another pitfall to navigate with care. The powerful growing force moving through you knows its way just fine. It does not need your pushing, your forcing, your frantic attempts to speed things along. Self-discipline, as I mentioned earlier, means staying the course even when results do not appear on your preferred timeline. It means trusting the process even when the process feels slower than you want it to be. The transformation you are undergoing cannot be rushed, and attempts to rush it will only create resistance and frustration that make everything harder than it needs to be. And now, having walked with you through the challenges, let me turn your gaze toward what awaits you on the other side of this passage. The transformation that is being completed within you is not temporary. This is not a brief peak experience that will fade as the cosmic weather shifts. What is happening now is permanent. The veil that you have pierced will not close again. The truth that has flooded to your awareness cannot be unseen, and the version of yourself that is emerging from this cocoon of revelation is fundamentally different from the person who began this journey. You will feel different in your body. There will be a quiet confidence, a grounded certainty that does not need external validation to sustain itself. The exhaustion that has been weighing on you will lift, replaced by an energy that is both calm and vital, both restful and generative. Your sensitivity, which may have sometimes felt like a curse in a world that does not know how to honor it, will become a superpower you know how to wield consciously, strategically, powerfully. You will know when to open and when to protect, when to receive and when to establish boundaries, when to speak your truth and when to hold your wisdom in sacred silence. Your thinking will shift in ways that may surprise you. The false binary between intuition and analysis that I mentioned earlier will be dissolved so completely that you will wonder how you ever experienced them as separate. Your creativity will be precise, your precision will be creative, and your decisions will arise from an integration of heart and mind that has been the dream of philosophers and seekers throughout your human history. Your relationships will transform, not through dramatic confrontations or painful ruptures, but through the simple mathematics of frequency. What matches your new vibration will be drawn closer. What does not match will naturally fall away, often without the conflict you might expect. The people who are meant to walk beside you in this next chapter will find you, and you will recognize them by the ease of the recognition, by the sense that you have known each other across lifetimes, by the way conversation flows and silences rest comfortably between you. and those who cannot see you, who persist in relating to the old version of you that no longer exists, will simply become less relevant, less present, less central to the story you are now living. The lasting impact of what is happening now will ripple through every area of your life. Career paths that seemed stuck will begin to move. Creative projects that felt blocked will suddenly flow. Financial situations that have been sources of stress will find resolution through channels you could not have anticipated. This is not magic in the supernatural sense, or perhaps it is, but it is also the natural consequence of coming into alignment with your own truth. When you stop fighting against yourself, when you stop abandoning yourself, when you stop teaching others that it is acceptable to treat you as less than you are, the universe reorganizes around your authenticity in ways that appear miraculous but are actually just physics operating at frequencies most people have not yet learned to perceive. What you are experiencing now is not separate from humanity's larger awakening. You are a pioneer, a way shower, one of the souls who agreed to go first, so that the path would be clearer for those who follow. Your transformation is never just about you. Every time you rise into more of your truth, you create a template, a possibility, a proof of concept that others can feel even if they cannot articulate what they are sensing. You are serving your soul's mission simply by doing your own work, simply by walking through this passage with as much consciousness and courage as you can muster. And the ascension of humanity, that great shift from third-dimensional density to fifth-dimensional light that so many teachings have pointed toward, you are living it, not witnessing it from the sidelines, not waiting for it to arrive someday in some future moment when conditions are finally right, but embodying it in your cells, your choices, your daily moments of deciding who you are going to be. If you need help living this ascension in your cells and choices rather than waiting for it in some future moment, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to embody fifth-dimensional light consistently and shift from third-dimensional density in every interaction. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed limitation and separation and repurposing it to serve your ascension process. It generates personalized sequences that help you embody the shift within your daily moments and demonstrate who you're going to be through every challenge. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to live the ascension in this very moment, rather than witnessing it from the sidelines. The shift is happening in you now, not someday. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this embodiment window closes. Link in the description. This brings our transmission to its closing movement, and there are things I want to leave with you that I hope will remain after these words have faded from your immediate attention. Thank you. Thank you for your attention, for your willingness to receive, for the courage it takes to hear truth when truth is not always comfortable. Your readiness to be here, to listen to these words, to feel what they activate. This is not small. This is not ordinary. This is the mark of a soul who has chosen the harder path, because the harder path is the one that leads home. I offer you now a blessing and an activation from those of us who watch over your beautiful, struggling, magnificent planet from vantage points you cannot yet imagine. May the humility of this day smooth every rough edge of your ego's vulnerability. May the charm of Venus meeting Sun infuse your presence with an attraction that needs no manipulation, no performance, no betrayal of your authentic self. May the attention to detail that Virgo offers help you see clearly what needs to be seen, while the creative sensitivity streaming through the cosmos allows you to hold what you see with compassion. May you trust the force that knows its way without your forcing. May you find the patience that allows transformation to complete itself in its own perfect timing. May you remember that you are watched over, guided, supported, and loved by beings who have known you far longer than this single lifetime, who celebrate your victories and hold you tenderly through your struggles, who believe in you even in the moments when you have forgotten how to believe in yourself. Share what you have experienced here, not because we need the algorithms to spread this message, but because there are others like you who are wandering in the dark, searching for the very words that found you today. Your sharing becomes a beacon. Your testimony becomes a thread that leads another soul out of confusion and into clarity. This is how the new earth is built. Not through grand gestures, but through each awakening being shared, each truth spoken, each veil pierced, becoming permission for another veil to fall. Leave your experiences in the spaces where community gathers. Let others know they are not alone in what they are feeling, seeing, becoming, and return here, for this transmission is only one of many, and the guidance will continue to flow as long as there are souls ready to receive it. Until the next message finds you, take gentle care of the body that houses your infinite spirit. Subscribe to this channel of communication so that the threads of guidance remain intact, connecting your awareness to the streams of light that are always available when you know where to look. I am Seraphine. We love you and we are watching over you.